got spirits, yes we do. We got spirits, how about you?
Hi, I'm Steve.
And I'm Tracy.
And we are the Partners at War. Thank you very much for joining us in our second battle report.
Yeah, we had such a good time the last time, we thought we would do it again.
I want to highlight that in the meantime, since our first battle report, we have posted our first episode of AOS Chit Chat. That episode was discussing some of the rules quirks that often come up with Khorne and Gloomspite armies. Some of them were shown in the battle report. We looked at the FAQ and the designer's commentary to really analyze some things in detail to help players of this game.
Yep.
Future episodes of AOS Chit Chat could cover anything from rules quirks to our hobbying to tournament play, anything about this game that we love.
Yeah. Or suggestions from the people who watch.
Absolutely.
Whatever they want to hear about.
So if you have any suggestions of something you'd like us to cover, put it in the comments down below.
Absolutely. Okay,
with that, who are we playing today?
Today I am going to be playing Sylvaneth. We bought the Loon Curse box too long ago. I was fully intending on putting the squigs into my Cho'Gath army, which I still plan on doing. But anyway, I didn't want the Sylvaneth part to go to waste, so I thought, well, I'll just assemble them and see how they go. And I love them. I started assembling them, seeing the intricacies of them. They're beautiful models, but it wasn't enough to put for a 2,000 point army, so I was like, so Steve, think we could pick up a little more Sylvaneth? And now we have 2,000 points.
Plus.
Yes, and a little more. And so I'm anxious to see what they'll do on the table today.
Plus all the woods, plus everything else, but they do look gorgeous. Tracy's done a great job with the Sylvaneth army.
Thank you.
And I am going to play Legions of Nagash. This army I'm relatively new to also. We got this army long ago and painted it up for my son to play, and it's his regular tournament army. But we thought it would be a good combo to play with Sylvaneth.
Yeah, we thought they might match up well.
And we're both playing two pretty new armies for us.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Excited to see how it works out.
Absolutely. With that,
yeah, so I just want to address a short house rule, something that we have learned through playing both at home and at some of the local game stores, and that is that this will be sometimes put down, I think, as a wildwood, and we play where you can remove the tree and use just the base as long as you don't put anything inside the footprint, and we figure that's perfectly acceptable, but just wanted to address it ahead of time in case somebody wondered why we were doing that.
If that happens to happen in the battle report.
Right.
Okay, with that, we are on to a 2,000 point battle between
Sylvaneth
and Legions of Nagash.
Let's fight.
Here we have 2,000 points of Legions of Nagash, Legion of Sacrament. My general is Arkin the Black, and he has the spell Overwhelming Dread. I've got a Vampire Lord on a Zombie Dragon. He has the spell Vile Transference to allow him to heal, and the artifact Shroud of Darkness, which will make him harder to hit in the shooting phase. Last three leaders are a Spirit Torment, a Necromancer with Fading Vigor, and a White King. 3 battle line units. 2 of those are 20-man squads of Chain Rasp Hordes, and a 40-man squad of Skeletons. My last unit is a unit of Morghast Harbingers. That is 2,000 points, Legions of Nagash.
So here is 2,000 points of Sylvaneth. I am playing the Harvest Boon Glade. My general is Spirit of Durthu. He has the command trait Seek New Fruit and the artifact Greenwood Gladius. His buddy there is the Tree Lord Ancient, who is carrying the Silent Sickle artifact and has a spell Regrowth. We have the Arch Revenant and the Branch Wraith as the 2 other leaders for this army. I have 3 battle lines of Dryads, a unit of 10, a unit of 20, and a unit of 30, along with 2 units of 3 Kurnoth Hunters, I am running the Battalion Forest Folk, and I have 2 endless spells that are the Glade Worm and the Balewind Vortex. And that is 2,000 points of Sylvaneth.
Today we'll be playing Total Conquest, the new 2019 version. You have 4 objective markers. One's right here, 2, and 3 and 4 are on the opposite side of the field, mirroring those 2. This has that odd diagonal deployment zone. The dice are marking both sides. And you score 1 victory point if you hold an objective at the end of your turn. For each objective you hold at the end of your turn, and you score a bonus victory point if you took that objective away from the other side. So hopefully see a lot of back and forth battling action throughout this game. We will be rolling to see who gets to pick their territory and who deploys first. We have deployed. Tracy deployed first. She has 2 units of Dryads, a 30-man squad, and a 20-man squad set up in the Enclave to come onto the table later. And over here onto our table, we've got a unit of 10 Dryads and Durthu over here, along with that's the Branch Wraith. That's right there. In the 1 Awakened Wildwood that you placed at the start of the game.
Right.
Correct?
Right.
And you also have established that piece of terrain as your place of power.
Yep.
So that Sylvaneth gets to do that at the beginning of the battle. So within 6 inches, you do not have to take...
Wholly within 6 inches, no battle shock.
Okay. Over here we have your Tree Lord Ancient. 2 squads of Kurnoth Hunters. And is that an Arch Revenant?
Mm-hmm.
I've gone with my 40-man unit of Skellies, 20 Chain Rasp Hordes, Archon and the Morghosts, Vampire Lord and Zombie Dragon, 20 more Chain Rasp Hordes with the Spirit Torment, and that's it. We're ready to go. Tracy will start since she finished deploying first. Are you ready?
I'm ready.
It's on.
Let's go. Okay, so it is the beginning of my hero phase, and I began the turn with 1 command point for my battalion. I went ahead and put another one down there to start my hero phase. I get 1, and I'm going to go ahead and jump right into my spells. I am going to start with my Branch Wraith. She is going to try to cast the Balewind Vortex, and it is a 6 to cast. And I got an 11.
That would be hard to unbind, but Archon the Black is also more than 30 inches out all the way back over here, so that is successful.
All right, so that goes off, and because that goes off, I get 2 things for that. Well, a couple extra things, but right now I get to cast an additional spell, and I get an extra 6 inches to my casting range.
Because we'll put her on there later, but when she's on top of it.
We'll put her right in there on that. So I'm going to go ahead and try to do Verdant Blessing, which is to put down an additional Wildwood, and that is a 6 to cast. And I got a 9.
That's a 9.
And again,
both those go off.
Since you can't unbind, I'm going to go ahead and do that. Does the zombie dragon get an unbind?
The zombie dragon potentially can. Let's pull that out there. That was an 11 on the other one. Nope, that's more than 30 also.
Okay, I just wanted to make sure.
Yep.
Okay, so I am going to end up putting a Wildwood here. Then I'm going to come over here in my hero phase, and I have the Tree Lord Ancient, and he has an ability that once per game he can put down a Wildwood wholly within 18 inches of himself. I am going to place that right here. And then in terms of spells, I'm going to go ahead and just do Mystic Shield. I'm going to cast it here on these Kurnoth Hunters, and to do that it is a 6. And that's a 7. You are
Archon will attempt to unbind, and he is +2 to unbind. So that is unbound. Did not go off.
That did not go off.
And that's the end of your hero phase.
End of my hero phase.
Right, we have placed the Balewind Vortex over here with the branch. That's the Witch, correct? Wraith. Branch Wraith on top of that. Because of that, she got 6 inches extra.
6 inches extra for my range and spell casting.
So that's a 30-inch placement of this Awakened Wildwood. We have a combination of the old ones and the new ones.
Mm-hmm.
We have more of the new ones that have not been painted up yet, and they have to be 1 inch away from other models, terrain, or objectives.
Or objectives, yep.
And then a big group of Awakened Wildwoods, 6 of the models. It's 3 to 6 models over here, and we did measure it. It's 1 inch away from everything. So, what are you going to do in the movement phase?
All right, I think I'm going to run both units of Kurnoth Hunters, and I think Durthu is going to use the Spirit Paths to go to a different Wildwood.
The Spirit Paths.
All right, so let me roll for my runs. This is for this unit of Kurnoth Hunters, and they got a 1. And then here, this unit also gets a 1.
All right. And that's it?
That's it.
All right, we have got a whole lot of little trees within this wood over here. You dropped how many? How many dryads there?
30 here from the Enclave.
Durthu popped over here in a very scary position for me. And Tree Lord Ancient moved up.
Moved up within range to shoot, yep.
And you dropped in
20 dryads
over there.
here from the Enclave.
And I'm sitting here going, and those 20 next turn can just pop over to a wood. Whew. All right. Done with the movement phase. On to your shooting phase. And who are you going to shoot at?
I am going to shoot at Arkham with, is it Arkham or Arcan?
Arcan.
Arcan.
Arkhan.
Okay, so Arcan. I'm going to shoot at him. I get 6 dice, and it's a 4-3. 2.
He does not get lookout, sir, because he is a monster.
Is a monster, right. So 3s. 2 hits, -1 rend.
-1 rend. He has a 4+ save. Oh,
Saved both
there
of
it
them.
goes. I made them both.
All right, so the Tree Lord Ancient is going to shoot at this Morghast here. He's exactly 18 inches away.
Yep, we measured. That's 18.
He gets 1 shot, hits on a 2. And
There's the 2.
there's a 2.
It wounds on a 3.
On a 3. And gets a 1.
Did not win.
All right.
Okay. So that is it for your shooting
That is
phase.
shooting. We will move
On to the charge phase. And who are you going to roll for?
I'm going to try to charge Durthu.
Ooh, this is big. This is really big. He is scary.
All right.
Incredibly scary.
Here we go. 2.
That is a fail. Are you going to use a command point?
Yeah, I think it's probably important enough to do that, so I will use a command point and try to reroll. And I got a 9.
That is a 9.
So that
got
puts me
All right, we're at the start of this very scary combat phase.
combat.
Because for those individuals who have not met this Spirit of Durthu, he gets 3 base attacks. He will get +2 because he charged. That is based upon his artifact, correct?
Right, his Gladius.
Greenwood Gladius
Yes.
that you gave him?
Yep.
He will get +2 attacks because even if he piles in around, he'll be within 8 inches of a wildwood. And then are you going to use the command ability from Harvest Boon, your last command point, to give him +1 more attack?
I am going to do this. This is a super important combat phase right here.
Harvest Boon also rerolls 1 on a charge. So he is a 3/3 to hit, -2 rend. Flat 6 damage with 8 attacks, rerolling 1s. How are you going to distribute those? Because I know you're going to pile in and you're going to be within 3 inches because his range is 3 inches of Arcan. Okay? 8 attacks.
So I am going to do 6 against Arcan. Those are my pink dice.
Okay.
And 2 against
me see
the
that.
Morghast, huh?
All right.
And it's 3/3.
This was a big debate. I think who to attack. 3/3 rerolling 1s. Those 1s were great.
Okay.
Only
so
1 miss
against the Morghast. So 3s to wound. 2 did not. So we have 4 against Archon at -2 and 1 against the Morghast at -2.
And they are both 4+ saves. Arkham will have 6s. He saved 2.
So they're 6 each.
And that still kills him.
Yep.
The Morghast is 1 out of 6. No, and they have 6 wounds. Oh my gosh.
So Durthu has done his job.
Durthu Arkham is dead, and a Morghast is dead.
But we are not done.
We're not done. The Harvest Boon has another ability for the general.
So if
command
the general,
trait.
yep, if the general has attacked in combat, as soon as he's done attacking and everything's been resolved, he can move 6 inches. Seek new fruit, I think it's called.
He has to end up 3 inches away.
3 inches from another model. So he is going to end his move right here.
So he can swoop in, slaughter, and then back away. And we didn't even do his stomp.
Oh, we forgot the stomp.
We forgot the stomp, which is on a 4+. One of the models near him goes last in the combat phase, but we knew it didn't matter. He was going to get to attack first, and then he was going to back up 6 inches. So even if the Morghast had been placed last in the combat phase, he'd be outside of pile-in range. Oh, wow. That is a game-changing Alpha Strike on turn 1. Okay, we're going to take a moment to understand the size of this. This happened to me at the Midwest Meltdown. A longtime Sylvaneth player by the name of Chase did that and killed Scarbrand in turn 1. And I had realized that, so I talked to Tracy about this build. She'd never really seen this in action, and she was real muted in her response. And believe me, that's not because she was overly worried about being kind and polite to me and my loss. Not at all. No, that would normally be.
I would have celebrated more. I was just in shock. I can't believe that just happened. I should pretend that, oh yeah, I knew that was going to happen, but oh my gosh, that is powerful.
All the times you've played Morathi, if Morathi had just done that, you'd have been like, oh, in your face, look what I did to you.
Yeah.
We're jovial with each other that way. But yes, Durthu is extremely powerful.
I kind of got a crush on him.
Okay, well that is the end of the combat phase because you moved out of pile-in distance. And Battle Shock, the Morghast have a 10 bravery, so they don't have to roll. How many points are you getting?
1, 2.
One objective on that side.
Yeah, one for each.
One objective on that side.
Yep.
So at the end of your turn, you are up 2-0. All right, on to the hero phase. Legion of Nagash, turn 1. I have 1 command point because I do not have a War Scroll battalion. Not a lot of good War Scroll battalions with this build. I've got a quick hero phase. I've got 2 spells. The Necromancer over here is going to, this old Mordheim Necromancer, is going to cast Dance Macabre on the skeletons. Dance Macabre has a casting value of 6. If successfully cast, pick a friendly summonable unit within 18 inches of the caster. That unit can be chosen to pile in an attack twice in the next combat phase. And I will roll for that with a casting value of 6. On a 9, that does work. So they can pile an attack twice if I'm able to make a charge.
Okay, and I am not going to unbind that.
You're not going to unbind that?
I only get 1, so I'm going to save mine.
Because I always forget Branch Wraith.
Yes.
Right? Yes, correct.
She's out of range.
She's out of range. Zombie Dragon is going to cast Blood Boil on Durthu here, that hated Durthu. And this is a casting value of 6. If successfully cast, you take a mortal wound. If it doesn't slay you, I roll a dice. And if I roll a 4, you take another mortal wound. I roll another dice. If I roll a 4, you take another mortal wound, and so on and so on. So I'm assuming this is the one you're going to try to unbind.
Yes.
And that is a 6.
So
it did successfully go off.
So let's see if I can unbind it.
And you're going to unbind
with a 7.
Yes, you do. And that is the Tree Lord Ancient, who is in
right.
30 that's doing the unbind.
He is within range, yes.
Okay, that is the end of the hero phase. Movement phase. I am, of course, going to just move units. I'm not going to run anyone. I'm just going to move units to set up for charges. Can you get back to war? Stop playing around and climbing trees. All right, I've moved my skeletons up closer looking for a charge. I did contemplate in the hero phase using the White King's ability, command ability, that'll give him +1 attack. But I don't know if I'll get all of them in this turn on a charge, and I only have 1 command point. They're like gold right now. I moved the Chain Rasps closer, but still are keeping them on that objective. The Morghast and the Vampire and the Zombie Dragon are ready to charge that wonderful model you've got right there, Tracy. And I did decide to run this group of Chain Rasps up. I did roll that 5 right there, giving them an 11-inch move. I wanted to place them within that objective, but on top of that, which would make it much more difficult for her to summon models into the wood since they have to stay 9 inches away from enemy models. And that is it. We will go on to the shooting phase, which is very quick. I have 1 attack by the Zombie Dragon, Pestilent Breath, and of course he will go at Durthu. If I attack large numbers, I roll against the number of models in the unit. By attacking 1, it is a 2-hit of a 3. And a 5, it hits. He wounds right now on a 2. 2 it wounds, -3 rend.
-3 gives him a 6 to save. Nope.
A 4, nope.
Oops.
And that is D6 wounds.
Okay.
6 wounds.
All right. So
Needed
he starts
that.
with 12, so he will be down to 6.
Okay. Now we go on to the charge phase. I'll roll for the skeletons first. We measured they are 5 inches away. Because they have a horn blower, that means they will have a minimum charge of a 6, so it will be successful. But let's see if they go any further. Oh, that is a 10-inch charge. That's very nice for them. And I'll keep those 10 markers there. And now the Morghast has a 6-inch charge. And the Zombie Dragon has a 10-inch charge. Those are nice. All right, started the combat phase, and you have another special little Durthu ability, correct?
Yes, I have Ground Shaking Stomp. At the start of the combat phase, I get to pick 1 enemy unit that's within 3 inches of Durthu, or anybody who has that ability. And on a 4+, that unit will fight last after everybody else has been picked to fight. 4. So I will choose the Zombie Dragon.
Now, technically, you had
last.
to say that before you rolled, but I think we made the assumption that's, you know.
Yeah, it does.
You sure? The Skellies, the Skellies are just outside of 3 inches, so you wouldn't have picked them.
But nope, the Zombie
So
Dragon
now the
has to
Zombie
go
Dragon's
last.
going last. So now you're putting me in the tough position. Who goes first? Do I use the Morghast first and try to kill Durthu, which allows you then to go first for the Dryads against the Skellies? I can't pass that up. So I'm gonna have to go with Morghast first. We did forget to use the Awaken Wildwood special ability at the end of the charge phase, which every enemy unit, you roll a d6, and on a 6, they suffer d3 mortal wounds. That happens at the end of each charge phase.
Okay, so we're gonna do for the Skellies. Nope.
Nope.
For
You
the
need Morghast?
he's not within 1 inch.
Oh, no, he's not.
But this guy is.
Yes.
Nope.
And then over
Chain
here.
Rasps. 4.
It's
nope.
a 4. No. And the Morghast has 3 attacks. It's a 3/3, -2 rend, 3 damage. They all hit. They all wound. -2 rend, 3
Okay.
damage.
So he saves on a 5.
Yes, and you need 2 5/6s. Our Durthu is gone.
1.
Oh, and Durthu has passed.
Dun dun dun.
I think he earned his keep.
This is respite.
And now we're gonna have to pile in all those Dryads, and they're gonna get to attack. She's piled in the Dryads, and how many of them got in? We counted?
23 are going to get to attack.
With a 2-inch range, that's nice.
Yep, so they get 2 attacks each, and then my leader gets 1 extra attack. So I have 24 dice here.
All right.
4 fours.
How many?
Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14 on the first roll.
Okay.
1, 2, 3, 4,
That's a
5,
three.
6, 7, 8. Oh, 7. So 21.
21.
Fours. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11.
11.
No rend.
Okay, 11 saves. They normally have a 6+ save. You do not have any Ren, so since they
rend.
have shields, this turns into a 5+ save. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Killed 9 skellies.
Nice, guys.
Okay, piled all the skeletons in with a 2-inch range and 25mm bases. All 31 are going to get to attack. Dryads within a wildwood are -1 to hit, but they're fully within 18 inches of a death hero, so they're +1 to hit, so that balances out. So they are hitting on 5s. All right, they're hitting on 5s. This is 31 dice. We'll do this 3 times. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9.
Okay.
6, 7.
17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23.
All right, after those 93 dice, there are 23 hits. They're wounding on 4s. Wow, was that
6.
6 out of all that? Not a good roll.
Okay, so Dryad save on a 5. Because I have more than 10 models, I get to add 1 to my save, so they will save on a 4.
And you are in cover.
Oh, yeah. So I save on a 3.
Yeah, that counts as a cover. It's a terrain piece.
So I take 3 wounds.
So all that killed 3 dryads.
I'm not laughing.
I do get to pile on an attack again, though.
Oh, stop.
Yes, I do. We forgot that when my one skeleton leader got +1 attack, he missed. All right, after 93 +1, 94 more attacks, we've got 29 hits this time. These are wounding on 4s. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13.
Okay.
That's your saving on 3s?
3s. So I take 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 more.
7 more. That's still pretty good to withstand that.
So that's a total of 10.
And that is it. We are done with battle because you took units out there, so the zombie dragon's not within 3 inches. He can't pile in. And on to the battle shock phase.
All right, so I lost 10. So let's roll.
You have an 8 effective bravery because there's
5.
so
You
have
15.
you
so
lost
I take
10.
9 more.
you lost 10.
10.
So you have 20 left, correct?
Right.
You get +1 for every 10. So your bravery is a 6, +2
So
is an
that's
8, and 10 + 5 is 15, so 7 runs.
7 more. Okay.
Oh, and 8. You subtract 1 from your bravery due to the standard of my skeletons.
Oh,
so they
okay.
would chase 1 more guy away because the bravery would be down by 1.
All right.
All right, I lost 9 skeletons. Skeletons have a bravery of 10. I'm good. So I just score my objective on this side and the objective over here on this side. So at the end of the turn 1, it is 2, 2, 2.
Okay, I'm ready.
All right. Critical roll off time, turn 2.
Okay, ready? I need the back. No, not. I need you not to have the back.
Yes, that's pretty much it. You do not want that zombie dragon with the back-to-back.
6.
Oh, you win.
Ooh.
You win it.
Yes, 'cause I
you
win ties.
ties. There you go.
Woo.
It is yours, and I really did need that. All right, on to your hero phase.
Hero phase.
You get a command point.
Oh, I do get a command point. Yep, I have it all ready to go. There's that. And then I am going to cast some spells, or try to.
Get a
The
different angle.
Tree Lord Ancient right here, he has a spell called Cast Awakening Wildwood. And on a 6+, every unit within 3 inches of a wildwood that is wholly within 30 inches of him will take D3 damage.
Okay.
So it is a 6.
Ooh, that's a fail.
That was bad. Okay, so then we'll move over to the Branch Wraith, and she is going to first try to cast Throne of Vines. It is a 5 to cast, and it will add 2 to her casting from now on.
As long as she doesn't move, correct?
Right, as long as she doesn't move. And that goes off.
I am going to attempt to unbind with a 7. I do not.
Okay, yeah, that's a tie.
Yep.
Okay, so now she'll have +2 to all of her casting rolls. And then I am going to attempt to cast to Verdant Blessing, which is a 6 to cast. And if I get that, I get to set up another Wildwood wholly within 30 inches of her. It's 24 inches, but +6 from the vortex. And I got a 4. Oh, 5, 6. So it does go off.
Ooh.
Because I got that
Got the +2 casting, so it goes off.
And you don't have any more to unbind?
Not within 30 inches. The
Okay.
necromancer's outside of that.
So I will get to set up another Wildwood.
Okay, and then that will be the end of the hero phase, correct?
Yes.
We have a weed problem on the tabletop. They keep propping up, just popping up everywhere. So here's another Wildwood right there. You're not going to run anybody? Is that what you said?
No, I think I'm just gonna try to put everybody in position to charge.
All right.
And then I wanted this Wildwood here kind of to prevent him from landing right here. So yeah, I think that's it.
So no dice to roll for running?
Nope.
We'll move them.
Okay.
So what have you moved where?
I moved the Tree Lord Ancient into the trees here to make room for the Kurnoth Hunters to hopefully have a charge against the zombie dragons. I brought the Arch Revenant down, hopefully to be able to buff my Kurnoth Hunters. Brought these Kurnoth Hunters in, but I didn't want to leave my objective completely naked, so I popped them from this wildwood to this one. They are wholly within 6 inches of this wildwood and outside of 9 inches of an enemy.
So there's 20 dryads back there helping with that
20,
objective.
the ones I brought in from the Enclave last turn. So that is it.
That is it.
And it's a shooting phase.
We're on to the shooting phase. Shooting phase, you have 1 shot.
1 shot with my True Lord Ancient at the zombie dragon.
And the Citadel Wood, of course, rule does have that if it passes over an inch of the terrain, they're not visible, unless either the shooter or the target can fly. So sometimes the zombie dragon being able to fly does not help the zombie dragon.
Okay, so here we go.
And this is a 2-3, you said?
2-3. So it hits. And it wounds.
Oh, and it wounds.
Negative
That's
one
that
rend.
-1 rend. Zombie dragon has a 4 save, so this is a 5 save. I rolled a 6. Okay, on to the charge. Who's charging first?
I think I'm going to charge the Tree Lord Ancient first.
Okay.
So he needs a 4. And we got a 6.
6, that's easy for him.
Okay. I won't move them yet.
Yep.
I'm going to go ahead and try to charge these guys. They need a 5. And they got a 6. And these Kurnoth Hunters, I'm going to charge them. And they got a 4, so they did not
I think
make
that
it.
is a fail. So the 4 on those fail. Are you going to use a command point to get them in on the skeleton?
Yeah, let's try that.
Okay, I think.
So I got 1, but I'll take that out. And let's get a bigger number than that. 7.
A 7.
So that will work.
So that works.
All right, so let me move those. So I've charged everybody, and they are all in. Just pointing out that since the Kurnoth Hunters are both units are fully within 12 inches of my Arch Revenant, they will get to reroll hit rolls of 1. That is an Arch Revenant's ability. And I'm going to start out with the Stomp for Tree Lord Ancient.
This is pretty huge.
And obviously it's going to be against him.
The zombie
so
dragon. Is that who it is? Is that who it is?
Yeah. 4 plus. 4!
Oh, zombie dragon goes last.
So he has to go last, which gives me some opportunity over here
to pick your Kurnoth Hunters on the skellies first.
Yeah, I'm going to definitely go with them. Okay, so these 3 Kurnoth Hunters are going to attack your skellies. They each have 4 attacks. Rerolling hit rolls of 1 for 2 reasons. 1 because of the Arch Revenant and 1 because of their glade.
When they charge, correct? Correct.
When they charge, and they did. So, and my leader gets +1 to his hit rolls. So my leader's dice are the blue, they hit on a 2. The pinks hit on a 3.
Re-rolling ones. One blue one.
Oh. So,
One or two. All those hit, and they wound on.
They wound on a 3, but 6s are an additional mortal wound.
Okay. Well, there's
so it's 3 mortals.
mortal wounds.
That's why these don't hit. So 3 mortal wounds and 6 hits.
These skeletons normally have a 6+ save. They are now considered to be in cover, so that gives them a +1 save to a 5+ save. You're -1 rend?
-1 rend.
Which takes it to a 6 and also ignores my shields. So these are a 6+. 1 save. So that's 5 go through.
And it is 2 damage each.
Plus the 3 mortal wounds.
Plus the 3, so that's 13.
That's 13 killed. Here's how powerful that stomp was from the Tree Lord Ancient. That means this combat nobody's interested in, allowing you to go over there and kill 13 more skeletons, meaning I only have 18, which dropping from over 30 to under 20 drops me from 93 attacks to 18 attacks. They're down to 1 attack apiece.
And is that +1 with your leader?
And that is +1. Oh, so it's 19 attacks. Because I have 19 dice in here. There are 5 to hit, +1 to hit because of being within 18 inches of a death hero, but -1 to hit for your dryads being in the woods. So it's back to a 5 with these 18 dice. Oh my goodness. That's 1 hit.
That was a Tracy roll.
And no wound. So the skeletons did nothing. Wow. This game's not going well. For me. Well, since the zombie dragon has to go last, and we checked it, it's not the last choice I have, it's after every other model that that can fight. You can go with your Tree Lord Ancient, your Kurnoth Hunters, and your Dryads. I'm waiting on you. What are you going with next?
I'm going to go with my Tree Lord Ancient.
Okay.
So his first attack is his Impaling Talons. It's just 1 attack, and it's a 3+ to hit, but if I get a 6, then it's an auto damage.
It does D6 mortal wounds.
Right.
And you get to reroll ones because you charged.
So that one is a hit, just a regular hit. To wound is a 2. Just throwing dice all over. And it does hit.
Or
and
does
it
wound with a 6.
A wound, sorry. -2 rend.
He has a 3+ save because he does have the shield. Failed?
Just 1.
Just 1? Okay, so he takes 1 wound. He's down to 13.
Okay, and then Sweeping Blows. Sweeping Blows, he gets 3 attacks on a 3/3 -1 rend. Rerolling ones.
2 hit.
1 wound.
Wounds.
-1 rend.
-1 rend, so that's 4+ save. Saved.
Okay.
All right, you're going with the Kurnoth Hunters next, so they're going to pile in they have only a 1-inch range with those big
Yeah,
long
you would
swords.
think with those big long
So
swords.
he'll
they'd
pile
have
in
a-
there and get that one, so he's within 1 inch. Okay.
Right. So they get 4 attacks each. My leader hits on a 2, the rest hit on a 3, so my leader are the blue.
And you are re-rolling ones because
They
you charged.
Okay. So it
You
looks
only
like
missed
this is
one.
the only one that didn't.
Ugh.
Okay, 3s to wound.
Well, that's better for me.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And that is -1 rend.
All right, here's the wound roll, once again with the Kurnoths.
So these 2 6s account as an additional mortal.
Okay.
But you'll have to save against 7.
Against 7 at what?
-1 rend.
-1, so these are on a 4+. 3 go through.
And then the 2 additional mortals. So 2 each, that's 6, 7, 8 wounds.
8 wounds, and he already took
1.
1. So he's taken 9 wounds. He's down to 5. One of the things that we did discuss off camera was that, and we forgot to mention on here, was that they Dryads did their enrapturing song, correct?
Right.
At the start of the combat phase. And what is that, Tracy?
You pick an enemy unit within 3 inches of the Dryads, and it's +1 to hit them with the Dryads.
So they'll have +1 to hit. Now, the War Scroll Battalion that we have is that your models can retreat and charge. The Dryads can retreat and charge. Now, they could have done that, and then with the Glade, they'd be able to reroll ones to hit. But Tracy made the decision not to do that because she knew they'd probably go last, and if they charged, they did not get the +1 to their cover save. Because that's the rule under cover, that models who charge into terrain do not get the +1 to cover save. So sometimes you just got to make that call when it's right to take a +1 or to either the save or to the hit, or to reroll ones to hit. You went with the save, and it worked out well for you. They did no damage to you. So you had 18 attacks, right?
19.
19 because the leader. Keep forgetting about the leader.
Yep. And so typically they hit on a 4. This time they'll hit on a 3.
Because they're singing to them.
Right.
They hit on 3s. They did not charge. They do not re-roll the 1s.
So there's only 5.
And they wound on? No, I think you have 2.
Yeah, they wound on a 4.
Now they do not have any rends, so therefore my basic save is 5, and I'm in the woods, so this is a 4 to save. You killed 1.
Okay.
All right. All right, the zombie dragon is going, and what did you just say about him? That he's been doing?
Oh, he waited so patiently.
He's been a good guy. He has his vampiric sword and all of his attacks. His vampiric sword, his zombie dragon's maw, and his zombie dragon's sword-like claws are all going to go on that guy so he doesn't stomp me next turn during my turn and force me to go last. The sword is 4 attacks, 3/3, -1, D3 damage. Three of them hit, -1 rend.
Okay, he has a 3+, so he'll save on a 4. He takes 2.
2 go through, D3 damage. That is 3, 4, 5.
Okay. He starts with 12, so he's at 7.
Zombies Dragon's Maw, 3 attacks, 4 to hit, 3 to wound. Oh, that didn't go well. And the Zombie Dragon's Sword-like Claws, you have reduced it to 5 attacks. And this is a 4 to hit. Ooh,
That's nice.
that made up for it. And it is a 3 to wound. 3 go through, -1 rend.
Okay, 4s. Nope.
Ooh, that is 6 more damage.
He's down to 1.
He's down to 1.
So
Battle shock, what I have lost 14 skeletons.
Oh.
I do have somebody nearby. I'm still not going to use a command point to... Oh.
You're not within 6 inches of a hero.
You're right, I'm not within 6 inches of a hero, so I cannot use a command point. I lost 14. Plus 5 is... That is 19. I have a 10 bravery.
So you lose 9.
9 more of those skeletons run.
Okay.
And with Arkham, I cannot bring that entire unit back. That's not good. Now you're Sylvaneth?
Yep, I lost 1.
And you have a 6 bravery, but a -1 bravery from the skeletons.
Right, the
Yep.
standard bearer.
So you have a 5. 6 plus 1 is 7. 2 more run.
7. 2 more run.
2 more run.
Okay. We'll take these guys.
All in all, that ended up pretty well from them
That
at the
wasn't
end of the turn.
awful.
So at the end of your turn, you once again just have the same 2 objective points, so you get 2 more points.
2 more.
So it's 4 to 2, and it goes into Legions of Nagash, turn 2. Oh, playing a new army, sometimes you forget some things. They have a stomp ability at the end of combat.
Yeah,
The Kurnoth
it's called
Hunters do?
trample underfoot. So essentially, each unit of Kurnoth Hunters picks 1 enemy unit within 1 inch. At the end of the combat phase, roll a dice on a 4+, they suffer a mortal wound.
Which it's just the zombie dragon.
Right, because those guys are
Those guys
farther
are too far
away.
away.
And he does.
Ooh, he
so
does.
1
So
more
he
wound.
is down to 4 mortal wounds. Everyone helps.
Right. I'll
Okay.
take it. I'm not gonna be greedy.
At the start of the hero phase, we can start with summoning. The Vampire Dragon, the only summonable unit that's lost models of the skeletons, the Vampire Dragon has a 12-inch summoning range, so he's going to be fine on the skeletons. These two guys only have a 6-inch. So from the fact I charged and then you got to go first, they don't get to summon models back, but the Gravestone will. All of those are D3 summon models back, so I will summon back 4 skeletons. I am going to attempt to Blood Boil your Tree Lord Ancient. Blood Boil goes off with a casting value of 6, and if this is successful, he's dead. It does a mortal wound. It's an 11.
Oh, I need a 12.
You need a 12.
Come on, 12! That's about as far from 12 as
that's the 2 dice sides you needed on the table. They're not on the top. That's kind of the opposite side. Yes. So your Tree Lord Ancient is
Let's
dead.
pretend that didn't happen.
We both help each other out, especially when we're playing new armies. And Tracy had the great idea that obviously it's at the start of the hero phase. The 4 that I summoned, I put in here within 1 inch of each other, now puts them within 6 inches of these 2. And yes, that means they're going to be able to summon back also, and that is 1, 2, 3, 4 more models that will be placed back into it. So place those back on the board also. Movement phase. I'm going to move most of the models in situation to prepare for a charge, but I will be running these 2 to get them closer to the skeletons. Right here, he's running 4 and he's running 2. As I started moving models, I realized I had a completely different game plan. I've realized to 100% give up on that objective, absolutely. So I ran, and the skeletons actually rolled a 5 plus their movement of 5, or 4. They rolled, which gave them a 9-inch move. Oh, I think I'm going to have to take these last 2 and move them up. I think I moved them 1 inch too far. I think I went 10 inches. And they're moving back and away. And I brought my Necromancer and my White King back around here to help summon them back on this grave marker. Chain Rasps, I ran over towards the other objective, because I'm obviously then going to take this group of Chain Rasps and I ran them towards that objective up there. The only way I have any chance of winning this game is if I get the back-to-back and they can steal that for 2 points. I can bring this group of Chain Rasps over here to hold it, and my skeletons can hold that point. While these 2 do a little damage to the Kurnoth Hunters in there. That's the only chance I've got right now, is to play for the back-to-back. Go to the shooting phase. I have the 1 shot, which is Pestilent Breath from the Zombie Dragon. A hitting on a 3, wounding now on a 5 against the Kurnoth Hunters. 3 hits. 1 does not wound. Charge phase, I've got 1 right here, Morghast, who actually does roll 3 dice, so he cannot fail. Because he rolls 3 dice and he adds them all together. But he does have a 9-inch charge.
You're outside of 3.
And I'm outside of 3 of them. I don't want to draw anybody else in. So that's it for the charge phase, but at the end of the charge phase...
everybody within 1 inch of an Awakened Wildwood on a 6 gets D3 Immortal Wounds.
Except for your guys.
Right,
yes.
Right. So that's for the Kurnoth Hunter?
No.
No.
Skeletons over here.
Oops. Oh, 6.
I'll give it to you. It's D3
I know
mortal
I did.
wounds.
Can I drop it?
That's all right. Roll it. That's
2.
2 mortal wounds. I will take out these 2 front guys.
The Zombie Dragon? Nope.
Oh.
And then let's do the
there we
Spirit
go.
Torment. No. And then the Chain Rasp? No.
No. At the beginning of the charge phase, your Kurnoth Hunters have a special ability that we want to go over.
Right. At the beginning of the charge phase, I can declare the Tangle Thorn Thicket. If that's the case...
Say that 5 times.
Right? I can barely say it once. If they do that, they can only pile in 1 inch, but they get to reroll all their save rolls. So I am going to...
all saves.
Yeah, I'm going to declare that on this unit, not this unit.
I will, of course, go first with the Vampire Lord and the Zombie Dragon, who will be going against your Kurnoth Hunters. He is hurting. He has taken 10 wounds. His Vampiric Sword, 4 attacks, hitting on a 3. Wounding on a 3. They all wound, and they are -1 rent.
Okay, so they are 5+ save, but I get to reroll 1. And
that is D3 wounds. That is 4 wounds.
4, so he has 1 left. And put it on this inside guy.
You can put him on that inside guy. Then there are the Maw, which is 3 attacks. Hits on a 4. All 3 hit. Wounds on a 3. 2 wound, -1, -2 rend.
Okay. So it's a 6+. Nope. No.
D6. Oh my gosh.
All right. Well, you still killed this guy.
Still killed one, but wow. Now I'm down to the zombie dragon sword-like claws, which he is down with 10 wounds to 4 attacks, hitting on a 4. 2 hit, wounding on a 3. 2 wounds, -1 rend.
Okay, 5+. They both save.
Oh. All right, so you've got 2 attacks on the zombie dragon. One of them's your leader.
Yep, so leader will be blue. He hits on a 2, and the pink is hitting on a 3.
And you're re-rolling ones because the Arch Revenant.
Right. So 2 1s. So blue hits on a 2, so they all... No, because he's the leader.
Oh, the leader hits on a 2
Hits
also.
on a 2.
Oh, that's not
so then we have a wound roll of 3s.
Which is 6 does a mortal wound on top of it.
Right.
Also. So you're doing 2 mortal wounds.
2 mortals, and then 6 regular wounds.
Oh, wow. And it's -1 rend.
Right.
So these are on 4, and he only has 2 wounds left. One of these goes through. You killed the zombie dragon.
Oh, shoo. Okay, and I do still have 1 more attack for this guy against the... What's he, a Morghast?
Against the Morghast, yes.
Yeah.
Right there.
Okay, so he's just regular hits, 3 3s.
Rerolling
Rerolling
ones
ones.
because they are Revenant.
Oh, so they all hit, wounding, 2 mortals, and 4 hits.
2 mortals and 4 hits. Morghast has, this is going to be a 5+. He is dead. Wow, that ended up a pretty good
How many wounds do you have?
for
5?
you. The Morghast has 6 wounds.
So...
You did 2 mortals, so he's down to 4. You do 2 damage apiece.
Oh, you're right.
Yep. He is dead. And he is dead.
Let go.
Okay, I do get 2 points. So it is 2 to 2.
4 to 4, actually.
4 to 4, you are correct. Not looking good for Legions of Nagash at this point in time. Okay, on the Battle Shock, I did lose 2 skeletons, but I cannot, they have a 10 bravery.
Right.
So that won't be there. Kurnoth Hunters lost 1, and they have a 7 bravery. So
Okay.
that's not, no, that's 1 plus a 6 is a 7.
7.
That's their
Oh,
bravery.
you're right.
So they
So I'm
cannot
correct.
run either. So nobody's leaving a Battle Shock, and we are done with turn 2. Turn 3, the big roll off, and I can, while this game does appear to be pretty much over, I can guarantee you if I do not win this roll off and get the back-to-back, it will be over, and I do get the back-to-back. All right, in the hero phase, did measure, and that skeleton unit is within 9 inches of this gravesite, and of course 9 inches of that gravesite, plus a necromancer and a white. That's going to give 4 die 3 summoned models back.
Okay. Oh, careful there, tornado.
3, 6, 7, 8. So 8 skellies are coming back. Spell-wise, I've only got the necromancer left, and I really did want to cast Fading Vigor on that unit of Kurnoth Hunters right there to make it that they lose attacks and they're difficult to charge, but his line of sight crosses over an inch of Wildwood, so he cannot see them. So I am left with Dance Macabre, which is a 7, which does go off, and you do not have a caster within 30, so that unit of skeletons will be able to pile in and attack a second time. Since you know that, you're probably not going to put them in combat this next turn. That is it. Movement phase. I'm going to not run those. I'm going to move those up and put them in a charge position to charge that group. I am going to run this unit of Chain Rasps. All right. I do not have any shooting, so we would go over here and take the marker out, and I have this charge. 5-inch charge. So they will go in, and that will be our 1 round of combat. The Wildwood ability at the end of the charge phase. Only have one unit. That's it.
Yep. Okay, so on a 6.
On a 6+, they take some mortal wounds. And I will pile in this unit of Chain Rasps and attack with them. Okay, all of them can get in with the very small bases that they have. So that is going to be 2 attacks apiece times the 20s, 40 attacks, plus 1 for the leader.
Right.
41.
Don't forget that.
They are -1 to hit your Dryads because your Dryads are wholly within 6 inches of the woods.
Yep.
But they, because of the Spirit Torment, they do get to re-roll once on hits. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Take 1 out. 9, 10, 11, 11. After 41 attacks, 11 hit. They wound on 4s, but they are re-rolling wound rolls of 1 because they have more than 10 models in their unit.
Okay.
Neither of those wounded. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There is not any rend.
Okay, and I have 10 models, so I get +1 to my save. 4. So I took 2 wounds.
So 2 die.
Okay, so I get 2 attacks each, 4, 4, no rend. And I have 8 models left.
Plus a leader.
Yes, so I have my +1
So
dice
17?
in there. Yep.
That was pretty good.
That was good.
That was really, really good.
All right, so then 4s to wound. Let's see if these are, oops, anywhere near as well. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
Of course, you don't have any Ren, but Chain
No.
Grasp, ignore Ren. This is a 5+. 4 die. That is the end of combat.
Combat. Wow. That seemed.
That was it.
Yeah, pretty uneventful combat.
You lost 2. What is your bravery?
Dryad bravery is 6.
Okay.
So, oh, this was my point.
Oh,
of
that's your
power.
point that you don't roll. Yes,
Yep.
it is. We figured you'd have to hold that.
Yeah.
So you're right. You don't have to. Chain Rasp hordes have a bravery of 6 unless the guy with a lantern is there. That's a bravery of 10. So even with a 6, they would not run.
Gotcha.
They're fine. So that is the end of that phase. Now, points. We're having a little problem with trees here. let's put that on film.
Right there.
I definitely outnumber you on that objective.
Right, and you took it,
And I took it.
you get an additional
So I
point.
get 2 points. I'm still holding that objective, correct?
Yep.
Because
Yep.
it's mine. So that's 3, and there is 4. So at the end of turn 3, Legions of Nagash is smoking Sylvaneth by the score
8 to 4.
8 to 4, but it's the bottom of turn 3 now.
Yes, my turn. Okay, so we are going to do my hero phase. First thing is I get the command point, and then I'm going to have 2 spells to cast. The first one I'm going to cast, or attempt to cast, is to put out my Glade Worm.
Okay.
And that is a 7, but I get +2 to my casting rolls. So I got a 7.
I'm way far away. I cannot unbind. All right. So you place the Glade Worm where?
Within 6 inches of my caster, so I measured here. And the front will go right there.
And then he moves 8.
He moves 8 inches, so that is going to put him, we're going to go right here. And the reason I wanted to put him there is because after this model has moved, roll a dice for each unit within 1 inch
Yep.
of it, and then on a 3+, that unit suffers D3 mortal wounds, but it does not affect Sylvaneth at all.
Okay.
Okay, so I'm gonna roll, and on a
Which
3+.
for which one?
Oh, good point. I'll roll for this one.
Okay.
So that one takes D3 mortal wounds, takes 1.
Takes 1.
And then here, they do
No,
not
they
take
do
any. Okay.
He takes 1 mortal wound. He is down to 4.
Gonna try to summon Dryads. So it is a 7 to cast.
But you're a +2.
+2. So it's 7
you got
plus 2 is 9.
So where can you summon him?
I have to put them within 1 inch of a wildwood that is within 12 inches of my caster.
Correct.
So I'm going to put them
We did
over
measure that.
here.
That's just at 12 inches away.
Right, and then 9 inches from an enemy
9
unit.
9 inches
so
from an
I'll
enemy.
place those in just a minute.
Okay. Okay, movement phase. What do you got coming from me?
Right. Well, I am going to, I don't believe I'm going to run anyone. I am going to move the Kurnoth Hunters into position, and then
That's scary.
I'm going to use the navigate the realm route. I can pick one unit of Sylvaneth that's wholly within 6 inches of a wildwood and move them to wholly within 6 inches of another realm route.
Like over here near this objective?
Like right by that objective, as a matter of fact.
You
as
sure
long
you
as
wanna do
they're
that?
9 inches from your enemy, from my enemy. So I can do that. Otherwise, that's going to be it for this turn.
I think those skellies over there look a little bit more attractive, don't you?
Yeah, no meat on their bones.
Okay. All right. All right, you've moved those guys back closer to the objective, correct?
Right, yep.
These guys are ready to
Charge.
say hello to the chain rasps. Your Arch Revenant,
Moves, yeah.
and you brought him up. Why?
So that he can give them reroll ones.
Yes,
Although they
re-roll when they
ones
charge
when they
anyway,
charge.
but in the long run, and also getting him into combat.
Yeah, so
That's
he
gonna be
can,
needed.
he
He
can
can mess
go
with some
a
other
lot of
people.
different directions.
Yes, you moved
And then
that
I
group of
moved
20
these
back here,
guys
so you
in.
will take that objective. And once again, we've got other ones in here ready to charge,
If they can.
if they can. Okay,
All right.
let's go to our no shooting phase. You have nobody left to shoot.
There's nobody left.
So charge phase, the wild woods for damage. Anybody within an inch?
Looks like these guys are within an
And
inch.
maybe over here.
Yeah, I bet they are.
Yes, they
Okay,
are.
so let's do these guys first.
Okay.
On a 6.
Nope.
And on a 6.
Nope.
Nope. Okay, so let's charge these guys.
They can go wherever they want to go.
10. We'll charge these guys. They have a 4.
That's going to make it.
And then we'll try these dryads. They need a 9.
This might be the one you consider using a command point, correct?
Yeah, the one that I just got. 7, so I'll use it.
All right.
And
No.
a 7.
All right, the Kurnoths are in.
Yep, everybody is getting ready to fight. I am going to, at the beginning of the combat phase, use my Enrapturing Song on the Chain Rasp hordes. That will give me +1 to add 1 to the hit rolls.
I wonder what it sounds like to enrapture a bunch of ghosts through lyrics.
Ghoulie.
Yeah, ghoulie. Okay.
All right, so I'm going to pile in over here and attack with my unit of 3 first. The blues are my leader. He hits on a 2, and my pink is the rest, and I get to reroll 1s on hits.
A lot of, well, 2 2s.
2. Okay, so 3s hit. That one does not. All right, and then 3s to wound. 6s are mortals. So you have 5 hits, -1 rend,
Ignore
and
rend.
2 mortals.
5 plus. So they're 2 damage each, correct?
Yes. So 2, 4, 6, 8, 10.
That's 10 of them dead.
10 dead.
Yes.
You did.
I will go with the chain rasp hordes over there on your dryads. We have 16 of them left because 4 died. So they get 2 attacks apiece, +1 because of the leader.
Right, and they're -1 to hit because they're within 6 inches of my wildwood.
So that means they're hitting on 5s.
Okay.
And that is 16 times 2 is 32, +1, 33 attacks.
Yep.
Hitting on 5s. And they're re-rolling 1s because of the Spirit Torment. Those more also 1s? Oh, those are all 1s?
Yeah, I put those
Oh, that was
aside.
pretty good. 5s. Oh, and 4 of those re-rolls came out to be hits. That was a one-time thing. And they are wounding on 4s. One, two, three, four, 5, 6, 7.
6, 7. I do not have 10, so I do not get the +1 bonus to save, so they save on 5s.
6
Just
die.
1. So that will only leave me 2. So I'm going to go with my second set of Kurnoth Hunters over
I
there.
figured that was probably going to be the case.
And I have my boss is the pink, and the other guys are the blue. So pink hits on 2s. Rerolling 1s, but I don't need to.
They all
All
hit.
hit. And then,
You're missing a dice.
oops, 3s. And 6s is immortal. So 5 hits and 1 extra mortal.
These are on 5s. None.
2 each. Plus the 2, so that's 12.
You just killed the unit. They are gone. Dun, dun, dun. All right.
So I'll get to attack with these two little
Your
guys?
2 dryads get to attack over there.
All right, so I have 2 to attack. They get 2 attacks each. And because of the Rapturing Song, they hit on 3s.
Okay.
All hit.
That'll hit.
4s to wound. Just 2. No red. I know they don't take it anyway.
That's a 5. Nope, 2 die.
Yep, 1 each.
The Battle Shock phase, the Night Hunts do not roll for Battle Shock with a 10 leadership, losing 2. Your guys are close to your place of power from the beginning of the game.
Right.
And that's it. No one else lost anybody that's still on the board. So for our points, how many do you get for this over here?
Well, I'll get 2.
Yes,
one
you do.
for the, and then 1 to take from taking away from you.
And
then I kept this one, so I get 3 points.
You get 3 points. So at the end of turn 3, Nagash is still up by a point. Turn 4 priority, Tracy 1 priority, so I get to move the Endless Spell, the Glade Worm. Has no effect for models it moves over, it's just where it ends. And I get an 8-inch movement. I am just going to move him more than an inch away from that model, so it will not cause any damage, but hopefully block the Dryads a little bit from being able to get to him. All right, now that I've moved that, it's on to your hero phase. What are you going to do?
All right, I have 2, after taking my command point, I have 2 spells I can cast. First, I am going to try to summon 10 Dryads. It is a 7 for the casting roll, and I have +2. So 5
plus 2,
7.
You got it.
That will happen. And then I think for my second spell, I'm going to try to Arcane Bolt your Spirit Torment.
We look, there's really no places you can put a Wildwood right now that fit.
Right.
So doing some damage is better than nothing.
Right.
All right.
So we're going to try that, and that is a 5 to cast, and I have a +2.
That's a 9 plus
10,
2 is 11.
11.
That's the big one. That is D3 mortal wounds.
Right. So let's see how many wounds our Spirit Torment will take. Ooh, 3.
3. He is down to 1 mortal wound, or 1 wound left.
Right.
Okay.
So
and that is that it for your hero phase?
yeah, I'll have to bring in my Dryads, and then we can move.
All right. On your movement phase?
Okay, so movement, I am going to run these Dryads. So let's see what they can run. So 7 and 5.
Is 12.
And then I think everybody else is going to just do their regular movement.
To prepare for charges.
Right. So that's it.
Okay. We've moved some models. We've got this group of Dryads over here. That one's moving closer in there. A big group of scariness coming over near the skeletons. And that group of Dryads ran.
Right, so they won't be able to charge.
And that is it. So charges.
Okay, so we're going to charge the Dryads. And they, oops, cock dice. Get to go
7 inches.
7. We will try to charge these Dryads. I'll re-roll it just in case. Oops.
Oh, there's a
They
failed
did
charge.
not make it.
Oh. But you got some important ones over here.
Yeah, I'm going to just let that one sit.
Okay.
So I will do the unit of 3. And they have 5.
5.
Will
Let's
that make it?
see. Yes. Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
And then this unit of 2, they need a bigger
I
number.
need a bigger number. And they
8.
get it with 8.
Okay. Let's try.
Oh, easily with 8.
Okay. Let's try him.
A 6.
6.
That's another easy one.
Okay. And I think that's going to be it.
Failed
for
the
my
one
charges.
charge.
That's all right. I can live with that.
You can roll a 9. Try to roll for those guys in the back.
That is true. For these guys that I
Yes.
just summoned in.
And you
Oh,
got
and
a
they get a
10.
10. So they will probably make it
They
in
will
there.
be able to make it in there also.
Okay. Well, I will move everybody and then we'll decide who's going to fight. All right, so I am going to choose to attack with these Kurnoth Hunters first. So I will pile them in. The blue is for the leader, and the pinks are for the other. Blue hits on 2.
And you're re-rolling 1.
Re-rolling 1 because I'm within 12 inches.
And
and I charged. 3 1s, so that's 4. Oh, so that's good. Okay, so this one does not hit.
That's the only one that did not hit.
Right, and then 3 to wound. So
Mortal wounds, 1.
Oh, 6, yes. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 wounds and a mortal, -1 rend.
I have a 6+ save with skeletons. I'm not in cover. You have a -1 rend. There is no save. So that is how many wounds?
2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 15.
With the mortal wound. 15
Right.
are dead already. All right. I am going to probably take out from the front of those, so maybe I can lessen your chances of piling it.
Oh, well, that's probably a good idea.
Oh, I'm going over with the chain rasp hordes over here. I have piled them in. 7 of them will be going on this unit of 2 dryads, and 7 of them on this new unit. 2 attacks apiece. They reroll 1s because they are still within 12 inches of the spirit torment, and they will reroll 1 to wound because there are more than 10 models in the unit. We were laughing because I just told Tracy she's about to fall prey for my trap that I have laid.
You are so diabolical.
I'm so diabolical, but I think even in this time, she does not believe that's the case. The 7 going towards the 2, that is 14 dice plus 1, the white die, for the leader. They hit on 5s because you're within 6 inches, so you're -1 to hit. They reroll 1s, and they are wounding on 4s, and rerolling 1s. Hey, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. There's no rend.
6. I do not have 10 models, so they do not get the +1 save. So it's a 5. So I saved?
Those 2 are dead.
Yes.
So that's 1 unit. Attack the other unit, hitting on 5s, rerolling 1s.
Look at all those 6s.
I know. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 hit. This is on 4s to wound. I reroll 1s, 3 wounds, or 3 1s. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Okay.
And you do get the...
I do get the +1 for this because I do have 10 or more models. So that's going to be a 4+. And it looks like 1.
1 died.
Which puts me under 10.
Put you under 10. All right, she has piled that group in. This brings up a couple pile-in quirks that happen in the rules. Remember, you can pile in if you're 3 inches from an enemy, or if you have charged that turn. That'll come up in a little bit. She could not sing to the group of chain rasps with her song to give her +1 to hit because she had to be 3 inches at the start of the combat phase, and she wasn't. So I guess she's singing to the hero here. Would have been the person, and we're not even going to roll for that. He has 1 wound left. But how many attacks do you actually have on the chain rasps then?
I have 2 each for 3 different models.
So you have 6 attacks on the chain rasps?
And it is 4/4.
Okay. You did charge, so you get to reroll the 1s.
Oh, that's right, for my
Yep,
glade.
for your glade. Only 1 missed.
And then 4s. Oh, 2.
2.
No rend.
5+, 1 save, 1 dies. And I am not even going to... He has 1 wound left. For the sake of time, he is dead.
All right.
So that's that unit. So it goes to me. Another little quirk. I am going to pile in over here. I'm going to move this guy closer to this guy, which is allowed with a pile-in move, so I can come around his backside. By doing so, I'm going to be hopefully getting out of any pile-in and attack range from her other models. And I will have, with a 2-inch, 1, 2, 3 attack. 3 of them will be attacking the Kurnoth Hunter. My whopping 3 dice to the skeletons. They hit on 5s. Plus
You went
1
from
to here.
93.
I went from 93 to 3. Plus 1. They get +1 to hit, so they're hitting on 4s because there's a death hero nearby. 2 hit, and they wound on 4s. 2 wounds. There is not any rend.
No rend, and they have a 4+ save, and 1 saves.
1 wound. The Arch Revenant has a 2-inch range attack, so he is 5 inches away from that, so he can still pile in an attack. The Kurnoth Hunters only have a 1-inch attack, so they can move in the 3, but they will not be able to attack this turn. So she's going to go with the Arch Revenant next.
The beginning of the combat phase, I should have declared whether his shield was going to be for protection or to steady his weapon. If I had chosen protection, that would give him reroll 1s on saves. If I choose to steady the weapon, I get to reroll hit rolls of 1s.
Had no impact whatsoever because he's not going to be attacked, so that's not going to impact the saves.
Right. See, I'm all choked up about it.
And he already gets reroll hit rolls of 1 because he charged.
Because he charged.
Okay.
So we're going to go ahead and go with his attacks then. He has a 2-inch attack.
So he's going to be able to attack. He has multiple attacks, but that's his only 2-inch attack. So that's the only one he can attack with.
So it's a 3/3 -2 rend. So no 1s. Okay, both hit -2 rend.
No save.
2 damage each.
Oh, wow. That might have made a big difference in whether or not you got the point right there.
Right?
Okay. So next, I am done. You can go up to this other group of dryads.
My 9 dryads. Okay, let's see how much I can pile in.
All right, those 9 dryads.
Okay, they get 2 attacks each. I did do my enrapturing song on them at the beginning of combat, so I hit on 3s now and wound on 4s.
And rerolling 1s because they charged.
Right. So here we go.
So these are on 3s and 2 attacks apiece.
Yep, for 9 dryads. Rerolling 1s. So 1, 2, 3, 4. 14 of them hit. Wounding on 4s.
So all right, roll for me.
Yeah. 5.
5. Saves of a 5. 4 die.
At the end of combat, I don't think anybody's in my range of my Kurnoth Hunters. Nope, 1 inch. So those are good.
I've got to be able to summon back to that unit because if they run away, I cannot. They're done. So I'm going to use a command point to ensure I've got a hero nearby that they do not run.
Okay.
They still have a 10 bravery because they've got their leader with a lantern in there, and I lost 5. So I will lose 1 more on a 6, on a 2. They do not run away. But let us measure, and I'm pretty sure you outdo me on that point.
Well, yeah, I think
You have all 9 from that unit,
Plus
which
these
matches
3.
my 9 for those, but plus those 3.
Yeah.
So you get 2 points there. You get
that back,
1
yeah.
point here.
Uh-huh.
You get 1 point up there, and you now do take this point also. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 points. Well, I think we're just going to call it based upon the math from this aspect. You now have 13 points, and I have 8. I could potentially summon back here and summon there in my turn and get 4 to make it 13 to 12. But even if I went first and I got each of those 2 points, it would be 14 to 12. You're just keeping your 2 regular objectives, overcome that, and of course you would get 6 more points by overcoming back on that. So there is no possible way for Legions of Nagash to win this. So I am calling it, and you just kicked my butt.
I seriously have a crush on Dirthu. Just gonna say. Sorry, honey.
All right. We're calling it halfway through turn 4.
Wow.
Wow is right.
Yeah.
That is one bad man.
He's my hero.
He did that to me in a tournament. As I mentioned, took Scarbrand right off the table.
And then he took Arkan, right?
Arkan. Like Arkansas.
Arkan saw Dirthu coming?
Oh my gosh. I don't think he did.
I think you're right.
Well, we like to talk about critical moments at the end of each one of these. I think that was pretty obvious.
Yeah, that was a critical moment. It changed the entire game.
Absolutely. Changed the entire game. We feel a little bit bad about that, and we thought about, do we even run this as the battle report? Because you didn't get the chance to see Arkin really do anything. But for Sylvaneth players, that was an amazing kind of epic moment to show what he can do.
Yeah,
what
that
Durthu
Harvest Boon Glade is really amazing for the +1 on the charge. Reroll ones on the charge.
Reroll ones on the charge,
Reroll
which you
ones
use a
on the
lot on that.
Yeah, and then I use the Harvest Boon command ability, which is +1 to attack.
Yes.
That helped.
And the command trait.
And then the command
which
trait where you
is-
get to back up 6 inches after you attack. Amazing. Honestly.
It is absolutely fantastic. Recently at a tournament, I had a debate with a Sylvaneth player. He plays him with a doppelganger cloak instead of the Greenwood Gladius. Oh, I wish you could give him both, but of course you can't. Greenwood Gladius +2 attacks on the charge helped him kill Arkin, but the 2 attacks that you put on the Morghast you just wouldn't have done.
Right.
And then the doppelganger cloak allows it that when you came in with a zombie dragon and the Morghast,
That second one that ended up killing him.
you could have popped the cloak, and now no one could have attacked you until you attacked, and then you would have been able to back off 6 inches.
Right.
With the future builds, might want to give it a try with the cloak. You can only do it once per game with the cloak per, the rules change, but that might be a nice artifact to give him also.
Yeah.
Wow.
Lots of options with this army. Lots of different ways that you can play it.
With this game, other than, of course, the MVP, might have had another group of MVPs.
Yes. Yep. The Kurnoth Hunters.
Wow.
They're strong and resilient.
You get them in the woods with a +1 cover and Tanglethorn Thicket.
Tanglethorn Thicket.
Tanglefoot?
Yeah.
We're probably saying that wrong.
Tanglethorn.
Tanglefoot Thicket or Tanglethorn?
No, Tanglethorn Thicket.
Okay.
Say that 3 times
Say
twice.
You take that and they can re-roll their saves. They're just durable as can be. You can place them on an objective and they're almost impossible to take off. And then when they get on the offensive, those swords do a ton of damage.
They hit hard.
Real hard. It's a great army. I would love to see this matchup again. We probably won't, on our battle report, put this specific matchup again, but we might have to try that again sometime. That was a really, really good build. A lot of different things you can do with Sylvaneth.
Sylvaneth is a very complex army. You really kind of have to be an experienced player to be able to pick them up and just put them on the table and go. It took a lot of research and a lot of talking to people who play them to say, what can you do with them? How can you work them?
There's a lot going on. It would
Lots
not
going
be there. I can see the aesthetics attracting somebody who's new to the game. I think for an inexperienced player to get in and see all the separate pieces of that puzzle that are working together could be a little intimidating.
Yes.
I would start with a different army first and then build up to this.
Yeah, it's not really a beginner kind of army.
Not with how it's being done. Also, realistically, it's got kind of a high intro cost.
Yes.
You have the
you're
full
not
army.
just buying a few models. It's a lot of models. It's a lot of extra pieces.
And then the woods, everything added on.
Yes.
But, oh my gosh, I love them. I love them. I look forward to playing them in the future.
Yeah.
Well, with that, we will be discussing a couple of the rules from this battle report, at least one in particular, on our next AOS Chit Chat. That will include a discussion on the at the beginning of combat effects, abilities, such as the ground shaking stomp from your Tree Lord Ancients. Also, probably include the Halo of Blood from Khorne. That is one of those that you fight at the beginning of combat. Stormcast has, just about every army has a couple of these at the beginning of combat.
At the start of combat abilities.
And that can be very confusing. So we're going to go through the designer's commentary and do some examples and explain that in detail on our next AOS Chit Chat. So look forward to that. With that, I think we're done for this episode. A little bit of an intro for next episode. Who are we going to fight with?
We are going to do Squigs
versus the new book Ironjaws with a big wog.
See you then.
Thank you for joining us. Toby, how you doing? How you doing?